It is.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Erika Feresten, and I'm here with, I'm Director of Healthcare for All Los Angeles, and I'm here with Maureen Cruise, who is also Director of Healthcare for All Los Angeles, and Betty Doumas Toto, or Betty Faye, as she is sometimes known, my co-chair with the Los Angeles chapter. And just briefly, in case you're not familiar with our organization, Healthcare for All California is a statewide nonprofit organization of volunteers dedicated to achieving a universal healthcare system through single-payer financing that guarantees all California residents the same high-quality, comprehensive standard of care by removing corporate greed and industry profiteering from the system. So we are focused on the state, achieving single payer, also known as Medicare for All, on the state. Although we have and do partner at times with national efforts for Medicare for All. We were proud to co-sponsor Force the Vote. And of course, when Bernie Sanders was running, and we then had hope of achieving Medicare for All for the nation, we were proud sponsors and activists and volunteers and you name it for the Bernie Sanders campaign. But now that it looks, now that Joe Biden is president-elect, and he did say on the campaign trail that he would veto a Medicare for All bill if it landed on his desk, that, with Force the Vote, we've seen Speaker Pelosi has not allowed a Medicare for All vote to happen in the House, even though we have Pramila Jayapal's 1384 Medicare for All bill. So here we are focusing on the state because we've always believed that we can achieve it here in California. But this isn't just about California, because I'm sure you're familiar with the political saying, as California goes, so does the nation. And so California is in a unique position to achieve single-payer Medicare for all for several reasons. The first being, California is the world's 5th largest economy. So we have the money, we can afford it. Our GDP is larger than Canada's. Our population is about the same as Canada's. They have single payer healthcare, we can have it too. Another thing that makes California unique and in position to achieve single payer Medicare for all is the Governor Newsom campaigned on single payer. So he hasn't come through with his campaign promise yet, but that's why we're here to urge him to do so. And we have a supermajority Democrat legislature. It's in the California Democratic platform, single payer is. And so there are no Republicans to stop this, although we know that this issue is actually a unifying issue, at least on a national level, with over 80% of Democrats and 70% of Republicans supporting single payer. But so this is why we believe California can lead the nation with Medicare for all now. And it's why we kicked off our first 100 days campaign, which is what we're doing, what we're going to talk about here. This was kicked off on New Year's Day. Some of you I see on the Zoom participated with us in that kickoff action. In person on the front lines, as well as behind the scenes, helping to make posters, helping to make graphics, helping to get social media out. And just to talk about that briefly, this is when we partnered with Carlos Marroquin, who has been the organizer of the People's Day Parade. He's been organizing the People's Parade since 2010. This is the People's Parade that would follow the corporate Rose Bowl Parade on New Year's Day. And of course, this year it was canceled due to COVID, but we created a COVID-safe caravan where we showed up to pay respects and to honor those who passed from COVID-19, but also for those who are still suffering under our predatory corporate profit-first health insurance system that we have here in California. And to kick off this first 100 days campaign, where with the new year, we bring hope, and we ask Governor Newsom to have California lead the way. And this campaign has 3 asks of the governor. The first ask is to apply for the necessary state innovation waivers from Health and Human Services. That's the first ask. And we do have a petition for that Betty will talk about. The second ask is that the governor lobby his supermajority Democrat state legislators to introduce a California single-payer Medicare for All bill and to promote its passage within the first 100 days of the Biden administration. Our third ask is that the governor publicly pledge to the people of California that he will sign this single-payer Medicare for All legislation by the end of his term in 2022. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Betty to talk more about the first 100 days campaign.
All right, thank you, Erika. Okay, yeah. So this is going to be a campaign that is for the first 100 days of the Biden administration. But I wanted to just tell everybody a happy new year. I wish you all a healthy new year and to keep healthy. And like my friend Chris Shimizu said to me just a couple of minutes ago, and I hope that you have a negative new year. We all want to keep negative this year. So thank you for that, Chris. Well, it's been just a whirlwind week for single payer organizers, Medicare for All organizers. There's so many great like-minded organizations that have kicked off their initiatives. And we all work in conjunction with each other, together with each other, because we all bring our creativity and our ideas. And you know what? Something's gonna stick. And we welcome everybody to join us, and we would hope to be welcomed in everybody's work as well. As long as we're working towards single payer, that's what our organization is focused on. So yes, we kicked off the New Year's Day with much gratitude towards Carlos Marroquin, great organizer. He was able to pull together a press conference and also then a car procession at the Rose Bowl Tournament of Roses headquarters, and then through the whole the parade route that would usually be the parade route. And the thing with that is that, the mainstream media actually, the mainstream media showed up, and the mainstream media actually stuck to our message. And they really, and I thank them really for doing that, because they got the message right, that we in California here need a California single payer Medicare for All system. And our this COVID-19 pandemic has proven that we need a single payer system to guarantee everybody health care. So many people are without their employer-based insurance because they have lost their jobs. So let me get to it. The California First 100 campaign is kicking off right now, and we are urging the governor to take action just as Erika had laid out. So the first thing as part of this campaign, what we're doing is we have a petition, and we would like you to share the petition and share it with all your social media contacts, in an email, in a text, however you can do it. Please use that link to share. We'd also like to, if you are part of an organization, to be a co-sponsor of the petition. Be the co-sponsor of this campaign. We need your help. We need to build this movement. We need to be all in this together. So what I would say is, if you are an Action Network and you know how to do that kind of like group sponsorship linky thing, great. Go ahead, go and please be a co-sponsor with us. If you don't, you can contact us. And I will drop an email into the chat soon so that you could contact us on how to do that. I want to say that please also volunteer with us, because we need people the most. We need people to build this movement and to help us in any way they can. Whatever skill and creativity you can bring this, we want your ideas, because we human beings are awesome with our creativity, and we would really love you to join us. So I'm dropping, and I have dropped in a link so that you could actually volunteer, sign up to volunteer with us. So the first thing was the petition, right? So we have the petition. We're going to get that out. Hopefully we get as many signatures as possible. We get that out and messaged to the governor. Then we are going to be also having some social media blasts and Twitter storms throughout this 100 days. They will be pointed at certain times and days that we would like you to join us with that. So please sign up for the toolkit. The toolkit is a living document that we will add graphics to. We will add slogans to and hashtags to for you to use. So please do sign up for a toolkit. We'll be using that throughout the campaign. The other thing that we are going to roll out as well, and we hope we can do this as soon as possible, is to really get at the core of this, which is we are people and we need healthcare. We are in the middle of a pandemic. People are suffering, and we would like you to share your healthcare story with us. And it's pretty much as going on Twitter or going on Facebook or going on Instagram and maybe uploading or posting or recording a video of yourself with your healthcare story and tagging us at our HCA. It's at HCA_Los Angeles. That is our Twitter handle, on an Instagram handle, or posting it or posting it on yours and tagging us and the appropriate hashtags as well. The other portion of this is basically just joining together to make this movement go. And we will be rolling out additional actions for you to take over the 100 days. I would like to add that there is one initiative that is happening right now. Kathy Rollins and myself, and Kathy is down in San Diego, CTA. We are rolling out resolutions for Democratic, or Republican county committees to actually introduce and to their county committees, get that passed and send it to the governor, asking him to please, in the first 100 days, apply for those state innovation waivers. So one of the waivers is 1332. So we say hashtag apply for 1332. And so if any of you are a part of a county committee and would like to have more information on that, please email us and I will get you that information as well. So I think that pretty much sums up the campaign right now as it is. But like I said, we will be rolling things out throughout this 100 days. We hope to get things accomplished. And I'm going to pass it on to Maureen and hopefully, yeah, okay. I'm going to pass it on to Maureen Cruise, who is the co-director of Healthcare for All Los Angeles.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for being on the call. Thanks, Betty and Erika, for laying out the campaign so beautifully. One of the parts of the campaign is that we want to organize to broaden our movement, and that really is going to require public visibility events. We don't want to just be, preaching to the choir. We love the choir. The choir has got to sing, but we need partners all across the city of Los Angeles, all across the state, actually, but I'm speaking on behalf of our projects here in the city. So given the reality, the tragic reality of COVID and the need to do things in a socially distanced, masked, outdoors, safe manner, we are looking at car caravans. The first one we had, as Erika mentioned, was with Carlos Marroquin's group, the People's Rose Parade, and also we had several participants from other organizations. That was on New Year's Day. We had speakers from Black Lives Matter, the Americans for Democratic Action, Project Mask LA, PNHP California, the Pan Asian Network Action, and several others. So this was our first car caravan. We have a second one in the hopper right now on the front burner, and that will be January 18th. And we will be working in partnership with the Martin Luther King Coalition and other organizations that want to bring this message out to the public in a visible way to reach beyond the people who are already in the know. And this event, if you would like to participate, please contact us via the email that is given to you in the chat. That so far we have working on this. It's not complete yet, or it is confirmed that we are doing the event, but some of the groups that have been in conversation about this are Union del Barrio, March and Rally, Vets for Peace. We hope to include Stand Up, Fight Back, and also all of our friends that participated in the Rose Parade action. The third car caravan is CNA, California Nurses Association, is rolling out a statewide, I believe in 3 locations, car caravan rallies. We will be in full partnership with CNA. We have always partnered with CNA and are really excited and ready and willing to jump in and join their car caravan. We also support, all the work that's going towards single payer advocacy. We like to work in solidarity with everyone. Healthy California now has a petition for 1332. We have signed it. We support it. Daniel Lee, who is the vice mayor of Culver City, has a letter for electeds and for ADEMs, and we are in full support of that letter. Of course, the resolution that Kathy Rawlings was her brainchild, and she's been working with Betty, and we support that. There was a very good event last night, sponsored really by Healthy California Now, and on it I was really moved by many of the speakers. One of them, our longtime champion, Paul Song, has said that we need a seat at the table, that we need to call out in mass protest, that the time is now. We have to work together, and that we have to publicly pressure Governor Newsom to keep his promises. Also, Blake Edwards, who's with Laura Friedman's office, said very, very succinctly, lack of action is violence, that the status quo is killing people. So we are here to work on behalf of everyone, for all those people who cannot do what we are able to do, and that is to advocate for all of us. Every day is urgent. The state of California is in a state of emergency. It was in a state of emergency before COVID. So we hope that you will join us. As I said, we have 2 car caravans on the schedule already, but we plan on doing more in the first 100 days. So please, if you'd like to be part of that, we are masked, socially distanced, taking care to follow all the protocols, and everything is outdoors. So thank you so much. Onward, everybody, for the next 100 days of full on everybody in, nobody out. We are all in and all out for single payer. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. Before Erika says the last few words, if you would like to ask any questions, please raise your hand, and we'll try to do stack as best possible. So we're going to open it up for about 5 minutes for some questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Comments? Great creative ideas. Memes, graphics.
Dan McCory's raising his hand, Betty.
Is he? Okay. Dan, you can unmute yourself and shoot, ask your question.
Hi, I want to applaud your extraordinary efforts here to get this passed. And other than the California Nurses Association, are there other labor folks jumping on board?
Well, right now, we are working with HCA LA doing this, and we want co-sponsors to this campaign. So we are opening that up to everyone. The nurses are going to roll out their own activity. I believe that NUHW is probably going to roll out their own activity. There are so many organizations doing all of these different actions that are pretty much like-minded for the same thing moving forward. But if any labor union wants to jump onto our campaign, we welcome them. I will have to tell you that this was produced in a very quick manner because it's so needed. And when we received that media attention and the media actually, I have to thank them for actually getting the message correct and really giving us that time in the story, because usually it's not, usually they kind of jump around it and they don't really say, but they did say we needed a Medicare for all, and that's what we were there for. And it was wonderful. So please, any union that would like to get on board with this, we totally would appreciate that. You can contact me, Dan. I could get them to be a co-sponsor to the petition, and we can work on getting them involved. Yeah.
Consider it done.
Thank you. Anybody else have any other questions? Wait, you think we're going to, go back to Erika and we're going to wrap this up?
Well, again, thank you everybody for coming on today. And so many of you, again, were a part of the New Year's Day launch. Thank you for that. Excited. I see Quasi on here, and I'm gonna let Maureen take it. But if you want to mention who Quasi is, because he's the leader of our Martin Luther King Day action. Maureen?
Hi, Quasi, can you unmute? Quasi, can you unmute? I guess.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Quasi.
Hi.
We did announce a January 18th Martin Luther King Coalition action on Martin Luther King Day. So would you like to say anything to the people here?
Yeah, first of all, we commend the Healthcare Coalition for being so consistent and persistent on these campaigns and these efforts to get single payer and to get access to healthcare for all. You've been doing it for a long time. We've been working in alliance and support what you do. We try to raise your issues yearly in our Martin Luther King Day activities and through the year by supporting you in whatever ways that we can. On the 18th, we're going to be doing a car caravan action. We have not fully defined the character of that action, but the basic thrust that we're hoping to do is to basically take the caravan through communities in Los Angeles. We are raising demands around stopping voter suppression, ending police violence, particularly in communities of color. We're talking about the issue of the relief funding from the federal level being insufficient in terms of people's housing, food needs, healthcare, et cetera. We're calling for massive federal support to our hospital systems and their safety effort for frontline workers. And of course, we are also raising the demands around healthcare access for all and single payer. So, we hope that as many of you as possible will participate with us. And we have quite a range of groups that have been positively responsive to this, including most of the groups that have done really successful car caravan actions during this COVID crisis. So we are hoping that all of us coming together in a united type of effort to raise this range of issues at this time can also evolve a form of safe and effective action in our communities during this COVID crisis, which we think that the car caravan may be exactly that vehicle. So please do come out if you can. We certainly will be endorsing your 100 Days campaign. And thank you again for all the good work that you've been doing so long.
Thank you, Quasi. And hats off to you for your decades and decades of social justice activism. We love you.
Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you so much, Quasi. And I'm just kind of chuckling as I look at the time, because at 2 o'clock, Quasi, Maureen, Betty, and others of us, we have an organizing call about the Martin Luther King Day car caravan. And it just really goes to speak, as Betty said, I mean, we are just jumping in and just flying. So we are all volunteers. We don't have money. We're making mistakes, but we have the courage and the fortitude to continue on, because this is an urgent matter of life and death. People are dying. It is pathetic, to be honest, that our organization exists. I'd like to work us right out of this organization. It is pathetic that in the middle of a pandemic, we're having to beg for quality, comprehensive health care. And this pandemic, as Betty mentioned, as Maureen mentioned, this healthcare crisis has been long before this pandemic. And the people suffering have been suffering for a long time. It's just that now the people who are comfortable, the people with privilege, are seeing it, because COVID is highlighting the racism in the system, the classism in the system, the inequity in the system. And so we are just doing everything we can. We don't have 5-year plan, 3-year plan. We don't have time for that. We didn't have time for that before. Maureen, this organization has been around, I think, for 30 years. Maureen has been in this fight, I think it's Maureen 25. So anyway, it's been around for too long. The fight for single payer has been going on since Teddy Roosevelt, over 100 years. So here we are, it's unacceptable. You know, we expect this behavior from, you know, Republican leadership, but that is not the issue here in California. The last thing I'm going to say before we close out is we had a bill in California. In fact, we've had several bills in California. 2 single payer bills were passed by the California Assembly and Senate and vetoed by Governor Schwarzenegger, right? And then Jerry Brown becomes governor. And I remember attending single payer meetings back then. I just stumbled upon them. And I worked so hard to get Jerry Brown elected because I was told that if he was elected, we would get single payer health care. And then here we had this bill in 2017, again, same situation with a Democrat supermajority legislature and a Democrat governor, and it passed the state Senate, and Anthony Rendon shelved it in the House, like Nancy Pelosi did not allow it for a vote. And if that bill would have passed, it was Senate Bill 562. I know some of you, when you hear me say that, the next thing you hear in your head is SB 562, health care for me and you. Right, I see you guys raising your hands because we were on that fight. Had SB 562, the Healthy California Act, passed in 2017, the state would have saved $111 billion by the end of 2020. Think about what $111 billion would have done right now. So when you hear the talking points, we can't afford it, we can't not afford it. It saves money. It saves lives. You know, on the national level, well, I just read an article that Black Americans have been hospitalized or died from COVID-19 at a rate about 5 times that of white Americans. And that if people of color had experienced the same mortality rate as whites as of late May, more than 14,000 Black Americans would still be alive, along with 1,200 Latino Americans and 400 indigenous Americans. So we know the challenges on the federal level. We'll still support any efforts to get it on the federal level, but we feel that the power is here. Governor Newsom can make this happen within the first 100 days of the Biden administration or even sooner. It's really simple. He apply for the innovation waivers from Health and Human Services. He tells his supermajority Democratic legislator, get a bill on my desk. And he signs that bill. So thank you all so much for joining us. Stay with us in this fight. We're gonna go all out, do everything we can to get this within the first 100 days of the Biden administration. And we love you and appreciate you. Happy New Year and thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody. Sign the petition, join our campaign.
Happy New Year. We hope to see you at the car caravans. Let us
Car
know.
caravan.
And
Yeah.
if you're not in Los Angeles, organize one.
Yes.
Ours was put together in 2 days and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just told yesterday that folks in the Bay Area are now looking at organizing a similar action to what we're discussing